You know what a chameleon do? What do a chameleon do? It camouflage with his area. It camouflage with the area. Why is that? Well, some people might say, well, to hide from the predator, because eventually it'll be the prey. Or perhaps to sneak up on its prey, being the predator. But what's another reason why it camouflage? Well, simply to adapt to the environment, to adapt to its surroundings. So I say that to say this. That's what they're trying to say the Apostle Paul did. Sometimes you have to adjust yourself and adapt to your environment. What do I mean by that? Well, let's look at the pandemic. Prime example, right? What happened when COVID-19 hit? We understand we have to keep our distance from people. We understand we have to wear gloves. You couldn't even really touch your loved ones. There was so much going on because there's a lot they didn't know about the sickness and ill disease. So it was a whole lot. But what did Jehovah's Witnesses do? See, we used to go on door to door. But when that happened, was we still going door to door? No, right? So what would you say we did? We adapted to the environment, to the situation. So understood you had to keep your distance. So what we do? Perhaps this is where Zoom come from. Now, was Zoom discovered then? Zoom been around, right? Did COVID discover Zoom? I just want to ask the audience that. If you said no, then I'm going to say yeah. Now, because I believe Zoom been around, but it's just we was more occupied to use it then. It was more enabled for us to use, or it adapted once again to the situation where we was able to more use it usefully. Hopefully that ain't go over your head. But long story short, so that's what the Jehovah's Witnesses did. Started going on Zoom because we know we couldn't touch the brothers. So we started still continuing our meetings, but in Zoom where it's more safer. We didn't spread illness, disease, nor, and at the same time you could still see, visualize your brothers. You just couldn't touch them. But we also still was writing letters. You couldn't go door to door. You could still write letters. Perhaps even call. See what I'm saying? So what is that called? That's just adapting to the situation. We wasn't meeting in person no more because due to the sickness or illness. Perhaps some people couldn't even go to their own kingdom halls. But we still made it useful because we was all on Zoom. You see? Which Zoom continues still now. Now, we don't strongly suggest people to be on Zoom only unless it's a strong handicap or necessity for them to be in it. Or necessity, basically. For them to be in it, in need, in other words. So if you don't have to be on Zoom, then please make it to the actual meeting. But sometimes Zoom do call, right? Let's be real, right? Sometimes Zoom do call. You know what I mean? Some people could be sick, but sometimes people might not be sick. They might be running late. That don't mean that you still can't perhaps make your meeting, but